Hello, everyone. Hello, and happy Saturday to all of you. It is 11 o'clock on Saturday. My children are currently, hold on, let me get my life together. My kids are currently getting ready to go outside. We have some new policies that we put in place in the Garrett house where, they got to go outside. You got to go feel the fresh air on your face. You need to get some sun. You need to do some personal growth and development. It doesn't matter if it's Saturday, whatever day of the week it is. We are very passionate about making sure that they're handling business. Good morning, Janisha. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm going live on Instagram too because we have a good word this morning, and I'm excited about what we're going to discuss. If you are new here and you're finding me for the first time or the first time in a while, I am Christina Garrett. It is my honor to serve the world as a productivity coach. I am not new to this. I am true to empowering, supporting, and equipping busy women, especially working mothers, with the tools that they need to get more done by strategically doing less. Here in this space, we wrangle children, we love our men, we champion for our businesses and growth in our careers, and we want to make sure that we're doing it with balance, right? We want to make sure that we are growing intentionally. Good morning. Growing intentionally and taking care of ourselves in the process. There is no part of this where we want to stay tapped into survival mode, okay? That's what we're going to talk about today. There's no part of this where we want you to fall into, be absorbed in survival mode, where we become used to and accustomed to just making it. Just making it. For some of us, that looks like I'm always busy, always moving. I'm lacking margin in my life, lacking white space where there is nothing, okay? For others of us, we may be used to being overwhelmed, okay? Used to sitting in procrastinating for certain tasks in our life over and over. For others of us, we may set a goal, put a timeline on it, put a date on it, and then we'll know what happens after that. The date consistently gets moved, right? From one place to another to another. And so here in this community, we want to empower you to make dynamic changes, to produce results in your life, to remind you that you are in control and you're in charge of the results that you create. Okay. Now, a lot of times, in a lot of ways, we have changes that we want to see in our life. We may not know what those changes really are. Like if I were to come and ask you, one of the things I do with clients is I will chat with them and support them about what do you actually want in your life. And believe it or not, that is one of the hardest things for people to work on. Like what you actually want. If I were to come to you and say, what do you want to do differently? You would have to think on it. If I came and asked you, how are you going to make these changes? Then we got to get off the phone. Okay, so this is what you want. How are you going to do it? And a lot of times we don't have an answer. Our answers are the go-tos. And I sent this out to my email list this week. It was like procrastination, overthinking, saying I'm going to pray about it. Now, y'all know I love me some Jesus. I believe that we have to invite him into every phase of our life, into our relationships, into our parenting, into our businesses, into our careers, into our self-care. He should be a part of all of this, right? Y'all know that's I am all about serving the Lord and following in his presence and going to him for all the guidance and all the wisdom. But a lot of times God has already given you an answer. He has already given you a next step. Your problem is not that you need an extra word from the Lord. The problem is you may not know how to walk out what he's told you to do. You may not fully believe the vision that he's given you, right? Sometimes it feels too overwhelming to move in that direction. And other times we are simply stagnant, like we have to overcome our mental hurdles, our spiritual hurdles, past situations all of the above. Okay. So this morning, we're going to be talking about, or afternoon, wherever you live, we're going to be talking about managing your energy. Okay. Good morning. We're going to talk about managing your energy. And the reason why is because you have to know what you are spending time on. Okay. So if you're new here for whatever reason, hey girl, like what you been doing? What took you so long to get here? Right. I'm Christina, and I want you to know how you know if you're in the right place. Okay. If you have ever wanted to share a post about overwhelm, but you didn't, you didn't want everybody to know that you're drowning, wave at me in the comments. We're going to be candid today. I see y'all coming in. Let's make it happen. We're going to pop up train today. Okay. If you've ever wanted to share a post about being overwhelmed, drowning, but you didn't even want everybody to know because you are the self-care coach. You are the CEO who has it all together. You are the superstar homeschooling mom who feels like if I say I'm overwhelmed, people will think I can't handle my life. These are the women I'm talking to today. You don't want to tell everybody it's hard right now. I'm struggling right now. My mind is all over the place right now. Hey, Regina. You don't want to tell everybody that my brain is going ham on me and I'm trying to regulate. You don't want to tell everybody I don't actually believe I can do it. Like, let's just put it out there in the world today. There are some days I don't have it close to me. Y'all know I will go to this because it's a symbol of my own self-belief. Okay. I have on my mantle behind me my name in Essence magazine. Okay. And I open it up every now and then to remind myself every single goal that I set for myself, I achieve. And not because I waited on anyone to give it to me, not because I was holding on to an idea. I had to actually create a path. All my clients know the path, right? But we do that work to make sure that we're achieving where we're supposed to achieve. This post is for the woman who knows what she wants. Okay. There have been days and days gone by where I've talked to every kind of mom, every kind of woman, every kind of, right? But in this next phase of my life, I was sharing with a new friend yesterday at breakfast. I was like, because I've worked on me, my clients are now different. I'm not the same mom that came outside and walked in her pasture just talking about taking deep breaths and self-care. No. Over the last decade of us pouring into this community, we've made transitions from just blogging about how hard motherhood is to talking about how you can achieve any goal that you set for yourself if you can work out the how. And it's even okay if you need support to work out that how, or you realize that some of your mental hurdles are keeping you out the way. All right. So you're a woman that knows what she wants. You can see yourself at the next level. This is how you know you're in the right place. You see yourself at the next level. You believe fully in yourself that you are the person for the job. I told one of my clients a couple of weeks ago, I said, I don't have any clients who are not a big deal. I don't want any women coming to our conference this year who don't want to believe in their ultimate potential, who don't want to get invested in how amazing they can be in this world, that you can have a loving marriage. You can have a good relationship with your children. Doesn't mean they walk all over you and they're the parent. We're not going to do gentle parenting today. Where we have these inclusive conversations and we love them and they matter, but I also have boundaries where you don't get to come in the shower when I'm in the shower and sit on the toilet and talk to me while I'm naked. Boundaries, okay? You see yourself at the next level of your life. You see yourself on stage. You see yourself being a thought leader. You see yourself taking your business to the next level, but you also value your family. So we're women here. We love God. We love our families. And we also don't play about building big missions. And we know we're here to change the world. God had better things to do than to create you and you not be here to make an impact. But sometimes things hold us up that keep us from fully making an impact. And so what we're going to talk about today is managing your energy. Okay. Part of me managing my energy is looking at my children outside in our backyard, and they have Nerf guns and masks on their face, and they have code names, and they are doing the most today. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. So as we are making our moves, as we're managing our energy, I want us to know sometimes what it looks like when we don't manage our energy. I've been sharing this a couple times this week, but maybe you weren't here, and maybe you need a quick recap of us talking about overwhelm, burnout, emotional exhaustion, and what are the symptoms of emotional exhaustion, so you know you need to better manage your energy. Okay? What are the symptoms of burnout, emotional exhaustion, so you can do a soul check on yourself? I, Christina, cannot soul check you. Okay? Much as I love y'all, I love this community. Our conference, October 27th through the 29th, caters to the needs of busy women, your wellness, your strategy, your strategic plan, all of that. If you want details, put conference in the comments and we'll get to you. Okay. We'll have a member of our team reach out. All right. So we have all these signs of burnout or emotional exhaustion that manifest in our lives one way or another. Okay. Good morning. So here are some possible signs of burnout or exhaustion. I got these from this book, Take the Day Off. I shared this with Regina yesterday by Pastor Robert Morris. And he talks about in the book the day that he realized he was burned out. Sometimes we end up feeling like something is wrong with us, that we are insufficient in some way, that we're broken in some way. But I want to challenge that you might just be doing too much. So here are the symptoms that he has indicated. Most of these are a result, excuse me, of physiological stress load, which is at an all-time high, especially here in America. And this book was written before the pandemic. Okay, so we have sense of failure and self-doubt, feeling helpless, trapped, and defeated. Symptoms of burnout. Detachment and feeling alone in the world. Loss of motivation. What you used to love just doesn't drive you anymore. Increasingly cynical or negative outlook. When something is always wrong. Something's always wrong with you. You never have a positive outlook. You never feel like God can turn it. You don't even get happy at church anymore. You don't even believe it. And some of us, we are sitting in this. Another symptom of burnout or emotional exhaustion is decreased satisfaction and sense of accomplishment. Some of us have one of these factors. Some of us have all of them or a combination of several. So you can feel like you're failing and defeated. You can feel like you're unmotivated and you're the only one in the world that feels unmotivated. Y'all getting this tea? You can feel like you have less satisfaction in your work. So how dare someone else be satisfied in their work? How dare someone else be succeeding in a business that you have and you doubt that they're actually doing as well as they are? All of this. All of it. You can have one of them where you feel helpless and trapped. I just can't change my situation. The devil's a liar. You can change your situation. You can transform. But it's up to you to make the decision that we're not going to sit and be in that same situation anymore, okay? So we have detachment, feeling alone in the world. You're no longer motivated. You no longer have a sense of accomplishment of all the things that you've done and mastered. Oh my goodness. Like sometimes you got to go back to, just like I do. I'll go back to some of my greatest accomplishments. I'll go back and look at 75 brilliant, bossy Black women from our conference every year. This year, we're going to do 100 and something of women who are about their business. We're creating international partnerships to push this narrative. Everything that I set my mind to, I accomplish. And I want every one of us to feel that same way about our goal. But how do we do everything we want to do while managing our energy. Okay, how do we do it while managing our energy? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I even took a couple notes for you guys. I hope y'all are like really excited because I even took a couple notes. Oh my gosh. Y'all ready? Okay. So we're talking about using our energy well. Okay. Is this hitting home? If it's hitting home, I want y'all like wave at me in the comments. Okay. If you're on Instagram, I can see your comments. And if you're on the Mamathon Diaries page, I can see your comments. Sometimes on the other places, I can't always see them. So we're going to keep going. All right. So using your energy well. Number one, I want you to ask yourself, where are you most efficient? Where are you most efficient? Okay. Often we are pouring our energy. Energy can be physical. It can be emotional energy. It can be mental energy. Okay. I'm focusing the most right now on your physical energy and your mental energy because sometimes you can come up against a problem, a situation, something that needs to be done, and you have to use your mental energy and your physical energy to get it done. So my question for you today is, thank you, Janisha, for keeping notes. My question for you today is, where are you most efficient? If you're going to manage your energy well, where is the best place for me to put it? There are days this morning, my brain was trying to problem solve, right? I was like troubleshooting different things, thinking through conference stuff and family stuff, just troubleshooting in my mind. My initial response to troubleshooting was to clean something. Is anybody else like this? My initial response is to go clean something. Like, oh, I should wipe the counters in the kitchen, right? Oh, I should go sweep something. Like things that are good to do. On a Saturday morning, they should be done. But on a regular basis, I'm not putting my energy into cleaning my house. I'm using it in other ways. So I will have my mental energy pouring into making sure the house is meticulous. Instead of using that same mental energy, follow me, that same mental energy to sit down in this space and problem solve. Because problem solving burns the brain. Troubleshooting and figuring out what's wrong, what's not working, how to do it differently burns your brain. It might even stress you out a little bit when you sit down and think about where you are and how far it seems you need to go. All this troubleshooting, sometimes when I have to send a pitch, right, to different organizations or different media opportunities, it takes a lot of mental energy. So naturally, my brain is going to want me to go and Google something else. Just think about how easily we get distracted nowadays, okay? Somebody said, like, cleaning out my car so they don't think about it. Whatever the problem is, I don't know your problems. If I'm coaching you, I know. But you're at your house right now. I'm at mine. We're not on Zoom. Problem solving for you. So you have to know, how am I best using my energy? And am I putting it in a place that's most efficient? If you have a limited amount, I like to think that we're limitless, but only God is limitless. If you have a limited amount of mental energy before you just get derailed, physical energy to do some work, whatever that work is, all right? If you only have a limited amount, am I using this hour, this 30 minutes as the best time? How much better? It's about 12 of us watching today. How much better is it for me to be here loving on and supporting you brilliant women? Hey, Jen. Than for me to be wiping the counters in my kitchen. This too takes mental energy, physical energy, but I am allowed to determine where am I most efficient. And so what you will do is you will let your energy pour over to what's more comfortable. What's more comfortable for me to use my energy? What feels better? What feels better? Cleaning that car out? Yes. Spotless kitchen? Absolutely. Sending that pitch so you get that media opportunity that you've been wanting for years? Mentally draining. What if they say no? What if I don't get a response? All of this stuff. Hey, Stacy, going into default mode. Like Stacy just said, I have a book around here somewhere. I can see the picture in my mind, but I can't think of the name. But they talk about default mode. Talk about default mode. Your default future. Your default future. The default future happens when you keep going exactly like you are. And you don't take a single point from what I've talked about today. This is a single one. In one live of a decade of lives, a decade of Facebook trainings, where we talk about this exact subject. You can take one point. Is this the best way for me to use my energy? But if I choose to continue doing what I've always done, I'm sliding into my default future. What's going to happen if I change? Absolutely nothing. What's going to happen if I just keep going like I've been going? And we hope somewhere along the way, there's something that bumps our default future and we get catapulted into, hallelujah, our next level. We just hope that's going to happen. Okay. And so instead of this hoping, right? Like, we're not talking about faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Yes. But then the Bible also talks about faith is action. I show you my faith by my work. I know in my heart, if you are a busy mother and you are building an empire and you have a big mission, I am the best coach. I am the best coach. I know this to be a fact. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody else out there, but if you Google me, right? I know this to be true. I just do. Our network is expansive. So the women that come to the conference don't just come. I mean, I'm great and everything, but they come and they meet each other. And then after they meet each other, they go shop with each other outside of the event. So you're forming more than just a Christina thing. It's not a Christina thing. But when you join into this, it becomes a you thing and a me thing and all of this. Okay, good morning. So you got to ask yourself, what's the best place for me to put my efficient energy? Am I efficient where I'm working it? Where I'm using it? Or am I letting it leak out? Good morning, Chrissy. Am I letting it leak out into other places that are not the best way for me to use my energy? Cleaning out that car, vacuuming your house because you know your kids are coming back, doing the laundry. Do the stuff you're supposed to do first. And sit in the discomfort. Sit in my brain cells are forming new neural pathways in here because this feels hard. This feels hard. But I'm not afraid of that. I hope y'all are grabbing this. So number one, where are you most efficient? Are you using your energy in the best place? Number two, y'all gonna like this. What are you paid to do? What are you paid to do? I did a talk for Lakewood Church several weeks ago. And several weeks? Yeah, it's been several weeks. Several weeks ago, the one and only Pastor Osteen's church, their women's ministry, such an honor. So anyway, getting to go and do a talk for them. And it was incredible because some of the women, they were all women in business. Okay, good morning. All women in business. And some of them had questions about like lead generation, building clients, all this kind of stuff. Like, Christina, how are you, wife, pastor's wife? You got 5 children. They're always around because we homeschool, all these things. How are you doing that and still forming connections for your business and all this other jazz? And so I asked her, I said, I just do what I'm paid to do. I do what I'm paid to do. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I focus all my energy on what's going to bring the biggest return. If you're here and you're watching today, right? I am even being reimbursed by you all's energy here, right? You guys came to sit and learn. That is payment to me. The fact that you're seeing this information makes you say, you know what, maybe I should be at her conference, October 27th through the 29th in Atlanta. Maybe I should be there. Maybe there's 50 other women, 100 other women who are just like her, who all want to get their life together. Maybe I'm not the only person who has to get organized. Maybe I'm not the only one who sees herself on this other level, right? That is me doing what I am paid to do. Coaching my clients, I'm paid to do that, right? That's my job. Now, some folks are like, oh, yeah, I sort of kind of coach. We're not going to talk about Derek Jackson's wife, ex-wife, and her newly sprung up coaching, counseling business, okay? But I've been in this work for a decade. This is our 8th year of our conference. 8th, not inaugural events, not touch for the very first time. 8 years. Okay, so we've been in this moment for a while. So I get to sit in what am I paid to do? I'm paid to formulate new systems, new connections, new opportunities, right? So I will go to LinkedIn. I was showing one of my clients this yesterday. I was like, okay, so I know exactly how to go find, hi, Kimberly. I go find who I need to know. This year at the conference, our Sunday Brilliance Brunch speaker is the lifestyle editor for Essence Magazine. Her name is Victoria. She is fabulous. And she was like, you know, usually I say no to stuff. She said, usually people ask me to go places and I say no. She said, but I actually have to say yes to this. And I was like, and so we're going to bring her down from New York. She's coming to spend Sunday brunch with us and pour into us about doing our work on a bigger scale. I mean, that's like the holy grail of Black women. You know, we all know we love us some Essence, right? Like it's holy grail of Black womanhood. And so we get to host her this year. So excited, right? But I had to ask myself, even in that moment, as I'm building all of this, where is this all going? But I get to determine, okay, formulating relationships. I had to make her know who I was. I was not, and this is for somebody. Some of us are waiting for people to see us. Some of us are waiting for people to see us and to want to work with us and to want to support what we're doing and all this stuff. You're waiting. The Mamathon ladies, our community and clientele, if you're just here watching this live today, now you're in it. Okay, you're in here now. We make it happen. Like you're in control of the result. I know that doesn't sit right with some of us, but you're in control of the result. So how do you make it happen? I didn't have a publicist advocating for me, right? I didn't have somebody at the time who was like, you know, I'm going to push to make this happen. Essence is a dream of yours. It's everybody's dream. I had to figure out, how am I going to make this woman know who I am? How am I going to make her be my friend? Being honored to be on text message relationship with the executive producer for the Essence Fest. Like I text her last week, like, I see they're burning you out. I know they're working you. I'm just taking a second to tell you that you're epic. And she's like, my sis, how do I form the relationship? Make it happen. Make it happen. There is no can it or should it not. It's how. Hi, Sandra. Good morning or afternoon. How do I formulate this to make it happen? How do I push for it? Am I waiting for somebody to come and bring me my next level? Am I waiting for someone to build stairs for me? Are you waiting for someone to tell you who you are? I can hype you up as you become that person. I'll work with you on the how. We'll work on the destination. We'll work on dreaming without censorship. But I cannot force you. You got to build your own stairs. Now, once you get in this thing, I'm like, listen, this is how you do it. This is what PR really looks like. Relationships. This is what building networking really looks like. 2 people yesterday called me the queen of connections. And I was like, is that true? It could be true. Because I will bring everybody together and we'll form like mass network. Sandra said, yes, I'm working on that now with my new business. Wonderful. You have to be willing to step into something new, something that might not feel so comfortable. Be like, okay, listen, I'm not waiting for anybody to hand me some stairs. So this means doing more of what you are paid to do. So number 1, where are you most efficient? Number 2, what are you paid to do? Number 3, I want to ask you, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? The reason that I'm sitting with this is because we often associate being a Christian, loving God. We associate being on top of the mountain mentally. You know, I'm going to use Sandra as an example because she's talking about her new business. She says she's avoiding rejection. Okay. So she's starting a new business. I don't know what type it is. I'm not familiar in any way. So I'm just using her as an example. You start the new business, you're on cloud 9. Okay. You got recruited to Mary Kay, selling Scentsy, essential oils. I don't know, y'all. Travel, like just name a business, right? You decide you're going to start a coaching business. You decided you're going to become a consultant and use your juice to do the things, okay? Whatever it is, whatever your thing is. Your career, maybe you got that promotion. Fill yourself in the blank, okay? So you will get in there, cloud 9. I'm so excited. If I had the 12-week year in front of me, I will pull out the emotional cycle of change, where I would say we all start off on the mountaintop up here, and then we realize after a little while, I didn't expect this to be so intensive, so laborsome. I was not expecting for this response to happen. I wasn't expecting for it to be this hard. I wasn't expecting to have to work this much on myself, right? Like for me to become a better coach, I had to do so much work on myself. So now I can come to the client and be like, listen, well, why is this way? Why is this the only way that we can do this? One of my clients last week, she was like, I really just want to focus in on this one thing, like this, working with this one company, going after this one opportunity. And I was like, we don't go after just one. Right? We don't go after just one opportunity. I was like, we are seed sowers. This is how I teach. Everybody has their own thing. It's like, we are seed sowers. So your job as a builder, Kim, as a builder is to seed sow in multiple areas. You do not plant one zucchini seed. You don't plant one tomato seed, just one. Now, yes, it will come up and it will produce something for you, but I am an avid believer that you don't know, good morning, you don't know which one is going to come up first. So what we do is we have several seeds that are always being sown because we're not waiting on any one person, any one opportunity to bring back our fruit. And she was like, it's like, for real. I said, why would you not pitch all those tennis shoe brands that she mentioned? Why would you not pitch this person, this person? She said, well, I tried to reach out or try to, do some social media content around it, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, let's go to LinkedIn. And I showed her how to go and find the people that you're supposed to talk to. All of the things. Like we build the how. We build it. We don't wait for the how to come to us. We don't wait for the people to find us. How do I force a relationship? How do I build it in an authentic way? Like there was somebody I talked to this week. We did not click. We didn't click. I didn't feel the juice. Other people I talked to instantly, like Regina, she's on here because I shared the picture. Regina Traylor, who is the CEO of Gift of Life Foundation, and she walked up to the restaurant. We had brunch and we hit it off instantly. It was like an instant connection. I was like, oh, I just could. We're best friends now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I met you. We're besties now. It was just that relationship, just like that. Okay. So it's not forcing it like something or faking it, but you find your people by making those connections. And sometimes we are avoiding, especially we might subscribe to, I'm an introvert, I'm not a people person, all of this stuff, whatever it is. But I believe if any woman's in Christ, she's a new creature. You get to determine who you're going to be in this next phase of your life. You're in control of your results. And very often we are trying to avoid certain emotions. So Sandra said, I'm avoiding rejection, right? Somebody else tell me in the comments, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? Rejection is a big one, especially if you're a business owner, if you're trying to start something new. The best thing that I can say for people who are starting new things is to be as my coach would say, be a product of your product. My coach, Stacey Bayman, she talks about being a product of your product. You are the walking resemblance of what success looks like. Janice said, I'm avoiding embarrassment. I feel like I'm going to be embarrassed. Some of us are avoiding the hard work of it. Is this even right? How do I know if I'm doing the right thing? But a lot of times it's rooted in fear that the outcome that we're concerned about is going to happen. Okay. As opposed to, I get to create a new story and lean in the other direction. So here you are in the middle of the line. Okay. Y'all bear with me. You're here in the middle. You can go, what's the worst that can happen? Oh my gosh, they're going to hang up on me. Oh my goodness, they're going to reject me. I'm afraid that I'm going to be humiliated. I'm not going to get an answer. They're going to roll their eyes, whatever. Okay. But then on the other side, you get to have a different story. What's the best that can happen? So you can do what's the worst, or you can do, oh my gosh, what's the best that can happen? Somebody said rejection is my biggest one, but I fear I won't do well. So how do we overcome being afraid of not doing well? Let's just lean in this thing. If you had to pick 3 reasons that you would not do well, how can you stop that from happening? If you had to pick reasons of why it's not going to be successful, what would those reasons be? And how can you avoid that? Just a little bit of like, you know what? I'm scared I won't do well because I don't speak well in front of people. I'm scared I won't do well because I get nervous when X, Y, and Z. I'm afraid I won't do well because of this. Like, itemize out why you think you won't do good and then prevent it. This is a premier example of you controlling the result. You control it either way. You control it by not doing anything to stop it. You control it by doing something to stop it. Whenever I have a client and they got to do a pitch or a proposal or whatever, I'm like, okay, let's talk through it. I want you to elevator pitch me right now. And they're like, but you're, okay, I want you to tell it to me now. Smooth. Sell me on you. Sell me on you. You don't have to make it fancy. It don't have to be sexy. She said, be more confident in myself. How do we enrich our confidence? Practice, preparation, doing it in the mirror, write our affirmations out. Girl, you are the baddest to ever do it. Y'all think I just pop up here every day? Like, Sandra said, writing down your why. Why are you doing this? Showing up like, baby, we got a game to play. And even if, let me just lean in with me. This is a combination of what are you avoiding and what are you paid to do? Okay. So I will have people every now and then who are like, some people say, and this is funny, I'm too busy for life coaching. Not life coaching per se, but like time management coaching. So what you're really telling me is you are more enamored with or in love with being overpacked. It's doing something for you, right? You're more in love with being busy and being overworked than to take 45 minutes a week to problem solve on why that's not sufficient and why it's not going to be long lasting for you. Okay? It's unnerving sometimes to lean in for somebody like, this is your reason. Do you love your reason? So somebody says rejection is my biggest, I'm fearing I won't do well. Lean into that. Why am I actually what am I thinking that they're thinking about me? I told her, I was like, listen, it's like, when you want to coach, we can coach if I have spaces available. It's like, but my life is fine. I'm serious. I legit told her. I was like, coaching is not for me. Coaching is for you. It's not for me. It's for you. Like, you're the reason that we're doing this. You're the reason we create this bubble where you get to speak candidly and get all your thoughts out, and you get to be in this bubble of total transparency, and we spend every week problem solving for you, your mindset, your skill set, the how that we need to build a bridge to the destination. That's all we do, right? This is for you. I'm already on my path. My life is fine. I might even take a nap today if I feel like it. I've had a lot of coffee. But you see what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like you're the person that has the answer, you're no longer worried about people rejecting you because you don't care. It's no longer rejection. If you need to do well at something, prepare, practice, affirm yourself, do your own personal self-coaching ahead of time. Being more confident in yourself is just one way that you can prepare to do well. But you also are confident in yourself when you take time to practice. So all of these things are combined, right? All these things come together to make a flow that works, that to create a flow of energy that honors where you are, okay? But a lot of times we are avoiding feeling negative stuff. We are running away from feeling embarrassed, feeling humiliated, feeling unconfident, feeling unprepared, all this stuff, when in fact we should spend our mental energy not feeling like, oh, I'm not in the right place and I'm not supposed to do this, but I am supposed to do this. Here's how I need to prepare. Like, I took time. People are going to research you. Y'all get this entrepreneur tea. People are going to research you. So if you go to my Instagram, you can see like my first 3 posts are Mamathon in the media, Yahoo Lifestyle, Red Table Talk, Washington Post, Essence, Fox News, and some other, Sweet July, and some others right there in the front. Building a tribe of ambitious mothers. Boom, conference footage from last year. And the third one is probably something about coaching, right? But people are going to research you. They want to come and see the quality of work that you do, that you deliver. Are you a walking product of your product? Are you a walking example of what you give to the world? Are you? I have 5 children, 5 to 15. Y'all have not seen not one of them run into this 40-minute live today. They're here. They're in the house now, I think. Maybe a couple of them. They were outside playing Nerf guns. This is an example of creating boundaries around your work. This is an example of having communication with your children and putting systems into place so that things flow and you aren't stressed out with no edges. At least no edges unintentionally. Y'all see my cut? Y'all see my husband? He hooked me up, y'all. Y'all see that? Oh my God. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? So every time I come and I go live, every time I come and I coach you and we're not interrupted, every time these things happen, I'm a product of what I give to the world. And so you have that same power. You have the same option to choose a result and make that result happen. You just do. You get to prepare ahead of time. You get to choose how you spend your time today. If you're worried about something that's happening tomorrow, how can I prepare today? What am I concerned about? I'm concerned about not speaking well. Make it closer. What does not doing well mean? Why would they reject me? They will reject me because my proposal wasn't sufficient. Make your proposal better. They will reject me because I'm not good at showing the value of what I'm giving them. How can you paint the value better? They're going to reject me because I've been off social media for 4 months. Nothing wrong with that. But here I go popping back up again, talking about my coaching program. They're going to be like, we don't even know you like that. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are a walking example of what's possible, a walking example of the beauty that we bring to the world, right? Like we are the example. Every time y'all come to the conference, even if you just seen footage of the conference and you're like, oh, so she wasn't lying about network. She wasn't lying about this. She wasn't lying about that. She wasn't lying about building a community of women and a tribe of women. Good morning. She wasn't lying about how consistency wins. She wasn't lying. Like I sat in the month of May, I sat in the beauty that coaching is my job. And there are a lot of folks, they'll say, you know, this is over here, you know, it should look like this, it should look like that, all the things. But I sit in the joy that this is my life's work. I choose not to avoid the ugly parts. If I'm having a moment, I have moments, I write it out, I get it out. I'm going to journal it. I'm gonna talk out loud to my friend and to my husband. Like, listen, my mind is just telling me this. And the other day, my husband was like, I've been meaning to tell you. He's like, you're a really good coach. And I was like, thank you. That really means a lot coming from you. You know, like the idea that you can transform where you are and you can build the bridge. You can build the stairs. A lot of times we want to jump on the elevator and zip up there, but you aren't putting in elevator effort yet. You're not putting in that elevator effort. So we got, where are you most efficient for your energy? What are you being paid to do? What negative emotions are you avoiding? Some of us want to build something brand new. We jump from business to business, job to job, niche to niche, all over the place. This week I coach moms. Next week I coach dads. After that I coach non-binary youth. Like, help us. Help us to see you as this consistent person, but you're not putting it out there. Am I willing to sit in, and I'm going to wrap up soon, y'all. Am I willing to sit in the negative emotion of this feels hard right now so I can get to the other side of this feels easy now? Like, my vision for My clientele this year and even the conference is bigger than it's ever been, but it also feels easier than it's ever been. Okay? So we want to bring all that together. Last but not least, I want to ask you what fuels you? What fuels you? What brings you joy? What brings life to you? What makes you laugh loudly and have joy in your heart? I love that my work doesn't feel like work. I like the women that I'm honored to serve and work with as a coach. What fuels you? In this book, Take the Day Off, okay, he talks about those feelings of burnout, the signs of burnout, sense of failure, feeling helpless and trapped, feeling like you're alone in the world. Like, I'm the only person who's overwhelmed. I'm the only mom who's winging it. Come on. Loss of motivation, having a negative outlook, like you always feel like what you're doing is not working, decreased satisfaction. Some of you all told me, I asked you guys, what does overwhelm look like for you? I'm going to ask this question again today on the Facebook page. What does it look like for you? For me, it might look like my shoulders being tight, me wanting to be by myself, right? Wanting to just tone everything down, just a myriad of different emotions. You guys talked about repressing how you feel, repressing your responses, not wanting to yell and scream at people all the time, all these things. Different ways that we look at overwhelm. But also in this book, he talks about the 4 tanks, 4 ways that we refuel ourselves, right? Whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, ways that we can refuel ourselves to give the best version of ourselves to the world and to ourselves, okay? And so I want to ask you, are you living in these breakthrough moments? Are you living in the beauty, hey baby, living in the beauty of awakening, that you get to have a new result, that every day it's a new adventure? I had a new mama, she slid in my messenger maybe 2 days ago. And she was like sharing me where she was. And she was like, I need a coach. She was like, I just need you to tell me what you offer, so I can figure out what I'm doing. Okay. And so I was like, usually I set up a discovery call. I said, but let me just tell you right now, we got 3 months, 6 months. And I just gave her a quick rundown. Said, these are your choices. Which one works? She said, I want that one. And when I say we didn't even do a discovery call, she's like, send me the invoice. There was no like debating. There was no maybe yes, maybe no. She was like, can I work out? Can I do a deposit? You can. And we just went full steam ahead. Okay. Because of the package she chose. So, with all of these things, I want to always leverage and advocate for you choosing the result that you desire, that you're always allowed to create the path that you want to the thing that you want. And it's okay if you got to sit in some discomfort. It's okay if you need to work through your own personal thoughts and where you are. It's all right if you need to salvage the remainder of what you have left and say, okay, this is what I have, and I know that this is enough. But for many of us, we're not sure. Many of us, we don't feel like I am the certain answer. Many of us don't know this is exactly what I'm doing next. I know exactly what I'm doing next. My next pitching is going to the WNBA. That's what Christina's doing next. Y'all better get me while I'm gettable. That's what I'm doing next. Because I firmly believe, I've been told multiple times by female coaches, by female athletes. I have some of them that I've partnered with in the past, and they're like, we really need that bet. Okay. So I am a firm believer that you get to control in a lot of ways what comes next. Now, there are some surprises that God pulls on us that we did not see coming. There are some things, some situations, financial. Hey, Lude, I love you. Message me after this is over, please, because I might have something for you. Okay. Where we are choosing the next thing, but sometimes God pulls some surprises on us, some okie dokes. They might be emotional, they might be spiritual. You might have some trauma come up on you that you didn't realize you were still dealing with. You may have financial hurdles. You might have all of this stuff. All of it. Okay. But if you're willing to sit in the feeling and get the help that you need on the other side of that thing, is something so beautiful. On the other side of that is something so beautiful. It's a beautiful sense of work, purpose, necessity that is going to send you where you need to go. Okay. So as I wrap up today, I want you to know, if no one else has told you yet today, you are remarkable. Sis, you are brilliant. You have everything that you need to be incredible in this world. You are disciplined, focused, gorgeous. I mean, y'all just fly. I don't know what y'all look like at your house right now, but I just know you're fly, girl. And you are enough right now. And you might need some tools, okay? You may need some how-to. You may need support to move from where you are to where you want to go. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing, okay? So my DMs are open if you want to work with me this year to enrich your productivity, your work-life balance, how to pitch well, propose well, show up as a thought leader, all of these things. If that's on your menu for this year, I invite you to come slide in my messenger. Let's talk about getting you organized. Let's talk about getting you more bold and more audacious so that you can hit every goal that you set out to hit. Okay? I love you all dearly. I look forward to connecting with you guys in Messenger today. Let's just make some magic happen. Like, I know you waiting. Y'all been here all this time. Janisha says, you're amazing, beautiful, and an encouragement. Keep moving forward. Thank you, Janisha. I am, because we all are. I was sharing with my new friend yesterday, and I was like, I wish it was a me thing. I was like, but it's a us thing. It is so much an us thing. The conference, the magic that happens, it is so much a team effort, and so much I'm not the only bright light that comes in the room. Like, I was the person that God pushed to sign the contract for the hotel and to get a room block and bring these speakers on and all this stuff. But that's just a me thing. And now the work of us partnering with these nonprofit organizations, partnering with folks, thank you, Lou, partnering with these amazing women who are facilitating communities for single moms and widow moms and all this stuff. Like, that's not a me thing. I just get to be the person that's the connector and say, listen, we want to host you. We want to have you come bring your tribe, fellowship with us. Y'all can have your own table, and we get to recognize you as a part of the group that is here. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Mamathon community is great because I don't think anybody has to tone down their magic to be a part of it. That makes sense. Like, maybe in some other spaces, I don't know, because I don't be running all over the place like that. Maybe in some of these other spaces, you have to diminish what your project is to be a part of that project. I feel like we can all have our stuff, and me having my stuff and you having yours, and all of this is what makes us better. It doesn't take away from it in any way. So, that's what we're doing, is we are eradicating burnout and overwhelm and creating efficient strategic plans, and then hyping you all the way up to make sure that you become everything you want to become. All right. I love y'all so much. I hope you feel it from my heart to yours. Go forth, have an amazing Saturday, and I look forward to chatting with you all in Messenger. All right. Talk to you later.
Mommy, Dad?
It's always you.
Wait, what did I do? Wait, are you off?
No.
Oh, sorry.
It's always her. All right. Bye, guys. Hold on.